Kayla B on YouTube. It's been a minute, but today I wanted to share some questions to some answers on my Instagram. So if you don't know, I am a portrait and wedding photographer based in Oklahoma, and I want to be a resource to those of you who are wanting to get into the business or have already started your photography business and just need a little bit of insight on what steps to help better serve your clients and how to be a better business. So I did a poll yesterday on Instagram, so I'm just going to go in and answer these questions for you guys. The first one was, what camera settings do you use when taking outside and then inside? So if you aren't familiar with cameras, there is a manual mode and there's an auto mode. So I shoot in manual. I think there was another question about, yes, okay, so there was another question about if I shoot in auto or manual, and I shoot in manual. I think manual is control. That's what you can look at it as. You want to have control of your lighting, your temperature, so your lighting is ISO and shutter and aperture. So those are the three things that you control in your camera. If you're outside, most likely your ISO will be lower and your shutter will be in the middle range, where if you are inside, your ISO is probably going to be higher and your shutter might be in the lower range. Lower as in like 200, 400, something like that. But think of shutter as movement. So if someone is dancing, they're going to be more blurred than if it was higher. So I hope that kind of answers your question. The next one, which I really like this question because I think it's just being like super real. And it is, how do you get into weddings? Lots of second shooting inquiries ask for experience. If someone is hiring you to be a second shooter, they expect you to have a certain amount of skill. So if I were you, I would message some people and say, hey, I'm trying to get more experience in weddings. Can I be a third shooter? Most likely there's not going to be an income included in that. If you're a third shooter, it's really just to get experience, and that's what you're getting from it, not so much money. So that is one way you can get experience. You can also attend style shoots. You can attend workshops. Those are really great ways to get your portfolio full. I mean, I know some people don't really ask for portfolios whenever you second shoot, but you can at least use them on Instagram that you shot them, and just have it's more experience with posing people. You can also ask like friends or family if you can shoot them to be more comfortable with it. But to get into weddings, at least second shooting, I would say start as a third shooter. Once you get that experience, then you can say, okay, I've done this amount of weddings, I feel comfortable, like I know what it requires as a second shooter, so you can be a second shooter. From there, you can have even more experience with having more responsibility and moving into doing weddings for yourself. The next question is, would you allow me to second shoot for you? So I have a list of people that I currently already work with. I have some really, really awesome second shooters, but like I said previously, if you don't have a lot of experience or we haven't worked together, then you can inquire to be a third shooter. I don't pay anything for that, but it's experience. And obviously, like, it just kind of depends on, in general, like what equipment you have. Even for a third shooter, you can actually expect not to shoot. It's more so just watching, carrying bags, getting stuff like that. So absolutely, I would be open to helping. I love this one because I think it is really important for your business. But I've been wanting to go legal to be an official business owner, but I don't know where to start. Tips. So I have been in business since 2019, and I say 2019 because that is when I got my LLC. I personally had a lawyer write my LLC paperwork. Legal is very overwhelming to think about, but I think it's very important to protect your personal bank accounts and like property, your camera equipment, like all of it. I definitely recommend running through a business. You can, I believe, go to LegalZoom and just do a LLC. I don't have a lot of information about specifics of that just because I had a lawyer do it for me. But I know whenever my lawyer did the paperwork, I had to take the paperwork to basically enroll or open my business with the state. And once you do that, then you basically pay to say you're an operating business. You have, I don't know all the terms, but you have like a paper basically saying that you are a business in the state that you live. And then from there, you just figure out sales tax. You keep track of receipts, you keep track of your bank statement, basically just making sure that everything is run through your business properly. And I recommend getting an accountant who can help you with that as well. So there's a few different steps in that. It is overwhelming, but I think it's very important to protect yourself and your personal property by getting an LLC. So if something ever does happen, your business is the one who handles it, not you as a person. So I definitely say number one tip is just start the paperwork. Go to LegalZoom and get a LLC, or if you know an lawyer, I typed it in like how to get an LLC in Oklahoma, and it pops up like so many different things that say like simple and fast, $49 how to start an LLC in Oklahoma. Like there's so many options for that. So hopefully that's helpful. And the last one is, what's the best camera for beginners? So this one is hard. I think different people would say different things. So I did a poll on my Instagram for photographers to tell me people who already have a business, already have obviously made that leap into investing in their business. And so far what I have is the Canon 6D. It is a full frame camera, and I would say you could definitely start with like a 50mm camera, or not camera, lens. You can start with the 50. It's a really good in the middle. I personally think that whenever you order a camera, if you have a lower end camera that is not a full frame camera, it's going to be very hard to get a professional look to your photos. And you can look up right now like a full frame camera compared to a crop sensor camera. The Canon 6D is the, I think, most affordable camera for a full frame camera. But like I said, if you want to have a professional business and you want to have a lasting camera, you want a camera that's going to perform and give you photos that you would maybe compare to someone who is already an established successful business, I think it's going to be very hard to compare to a full frame camera when you have a crop sensor camera. So I think that's one option, a really, really good option if you have it. In my experience, I think kit lenses are not as great of a lens compared to buying like a 51.4. That is where I started. I started with a 5D Mark III and a 50mm 1.8. So that is where I started. I now have a 5D Mark IV, and I have added other lenses as well. So that is where I started. So I would say if you have some money, then I would recommend what they recommended, which would be the 6D Mark II, I believe. However, right now in the photography industry, there are some changes that are happening, and mirrorless cameras are very, very popular. So if you have the budget and you want to be ahead of the curve and start out with equipment that you won't probably replace for a long, long time, you can look at the mirrorless cameras. So that is the I believe 5 and the R6. R6 is what a lot of people have, what a lot of the professional photographers are enjoying and switching over to. There are still people who think that The 5D, Mark III, and Mark IV are better, but I would say the future is more mirrorless. So if you have that budget, go mirrorless. You're going to be very happy with it, but that is like a $3,000 investment. So I hope that's helpful. If you have additional questions, just put them below and I will try to answer them. And it's really not a simple answer to tell you what camera to get, but I would say most important thing is if you want to be a professional photographer, a full frame camera is most important, and it's going to give you the photos that you really desire and what you see other people have. So I hope that is all helpful. I will make sure that I got all of the questions. I think that was everything. Like I said, if you guys have questions, just put them below, but I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys asking the questions, and I hope that this was helpful for those of you who are starting a business, have already started your business, and want to make some next steps to make your business more profitable, more professional, and just something that you enjoy. If you found something useful from this video, please hit the thumbs up button so I know that you liked it, and drop a comment below if you have any other questions.